Hi, it's Rosie at RoseByNameCo. Thank you for coming by. I wanted to show you today my new mini journal, which I just completed, and it is sold already, and it's gonna go off to its new home. It's an adorable little size, just something that I started quite a while back and just got around to completing. It is a tiny one. It is about 3.5 inches long and 2.5 inches wide. It does have a little bit of a spine, a little bit wider, so I could put more things into it. Of course, it's about an inch. And I put some beads on the spine here and did a tassel as well, which kind of just sort of gives it a little bit more in size, a little bit more oomph. It is called Drift, but it does have 108 pages, believe it or not, altogether. And on top I have the little fabric tabs, and then over here it's a ribbon closure, and I have some charms here as well. I have a star over here because stars drift in the sky. Maybe that was my thought. And then on the bottom as well, I have some fabric and so on. So it is filled with texture, which normally I like to do a lot of texture. As far as the cover, it is fabric covered and a little bit of recycled cardboard. But it does have sturdiness. It is pretty good as far as holding your things in. I think it will be fine. So let's check it out inside. And this is what it looks like when you open it up. It has beads over here as well. And I love it when these tiny journals, when they open up, and they're just like a flower and or an accordion, whichever you might want to think of. And but just beautiful to look at, and it has lots of ribbon and some different textures inside as well. So in the front, it starts off with the first signature. I did put a stamp, little collage on this scrapbook paper. And over here is a belly band, and it has a couple of things in it, actually a few things. So it has a little journaling shipping tag, journaling tag. That is all collaged and with a ribbon on top, and a little journaling card with for a little note. And this one is actually a tiny little notebook. So a few things here to start you off with. Okay, and so here this charm is a button, and inside here I did some book pages here, from old books, and I just used some wording that I could find that made just a little bit of sense. A little circle from a coloring book, so you can maybe put a little bit of color on it and put it back in. And over here you can write a little note on this journaling spot, and a little bit of stamping over here, vintage book page, and then paper ruffle over here with a bit of sparkle on it, and a little bit more in the back here from tulle, I believe, fabric. And over here is a see-through pocket, and inside you have a bunch of things that you can use in other places in the journal. And another stamp over here in purple, and this beautiful flower from a vintage book also. A little bit of a collage here, and inside is a tag. It is from a scrapbook cardstock. And a little bit of this wider ribbon that I just sewn on for texture, and fabric tab, and a little bit of sewing, little hearts. And then this is from my Indian scrapbook paper pack, and inside here you have another tiny, even tinier than the other one, journaling tag, and then a little bit of a folder to put a little bit more note in there. And on this side as well, journaling tag and a card. I try to make it not too tiny, but at the same time tiny enough to be intriguing and so on, because we like small things. A little bit of beads over here as well. little bit more of the hearts, and another ribbon on top here, and some flowers, and a little bit more of that wider ribbon. And I did leave you a pocket to put some of your own collection in there. Book page, a little bit of a writing spot here, and a little bit of a ticket in this see-through pocket. More writing space. So I'll try to give some writing space as well, so you can put your little notes. A little bit book page here, and then a writing spot over here, and a small journaling card. More ribbon, stamps on each of these signature covers. And here's some beads. And here is a journaling card with more stamp. And a little bit stamping here. Journaling spot. And over here, paper ruffle with a bit of sparkle. And then in the back, a little bit of fabric sample, book page, in a fabric tab. Over here, another see-through pocket, and a little bit more of extra little fussy cut things that you can glue somewhere else or put in some other journal. Over here, a little bit more of a cluster, fabric and paper, and then a little bit of a journaling tag. Here's another, I think it's a ribbon. It is kind of a see-through ribbon here. And just for texture, if you run your fingers over it, you can feel it. And then over here, a little bit more design sewing. And this is embossed from my Indian pack. And a little bit more over here for coloring on both sides. So there's two of them here, and a little more beads as well. Back of that, more flowers, a little bit for texture, and this one's also empty, so you can fill in, some of these things, and a little bit of a postage stamp. And here's another little ticket. This one is a little bit of a flip out with a little bit of a tab on top here. So it is actually, let's see, from this side, beautiful flowers, garden. Over here, a little bit of fabric sample and a paper ruffle with sparkle, and more journaling spot. And this one is a journaling spot that it could be used as a card, or you can glue it, somewhere else if you want to. And here, a little bit of wording as well. And then this is in the middle of the second and third signature, more vintage stamps. I love using stamps. This one is a little owl charm on this one. And here's a couple of little journaling cards. More flower and stamping here. Journaling spot and paper ruffle. Over here also some fabric. And on top, beautiful flowers from a vintage book. Another see-through pocket with more fussy cut items for writing. A little bit of collaging, and another journaling tag here. And then this is looks like maybe a daisy ribbon that I sewn on, and then some sewing here and more flowers. This is also, every middle has a little sample of the Indian paper pack, and if you see, this is a little bit sparkly, very cute. And then over here is a die cut that you can use somewhere else. And this one here is a little notebook, actually. And it has a couple of pages for writing and just a little fabric sample. And then over here as well, a little bit of beads in the middle. More flowers. And a half page here, and a little bit more for texture. And so you have 3 empty pockets to put your things into, and a postage stamp, and another ticket over here, see-through pocket, a little bit ribbon tab, more flowers. Love this one here, the blues on it, so beautiful with this pink over here, and a paper ruffle, more writing, And over here is also a tiny little notebook. It has a few more pages on it, so, you know, use it for dates or just something that might be important to you or whatever. And then over here as well, postage stamp. And then in the belly band on the back here is a little, journaling tag with some collaging on it with this house. Looks like in winter, you know, since it is December. And so I thought I would put that in there. So this is Drift. This is, again, in the back. And I'll be wrapping this up and sending it off. I hope the person who bought it will enjoy it and looking through it and using it too. So thank you for coming by to checking what's new on my channel. And I hope you get to my Etsy shop sometimes and check it out as well. I appreciate it. Have good holidays. Take care. It's Rosie at RoseByNameCo. Bye-bye.